What's going on, everyone? Okay, so today I just wanted to shoot a quick video to go over Detroit's offseason thus far and to discuss the question of whether Detroit is done making moves this offseason or not. So, I want to jump right into it, but the first thing I just want to say is I would really appreciate if you guys could subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to grow my channel right now, and if you guys are fans of the NBA, fans of the Pistons, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, and also leave a like, and then if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave your comments down below. I get back to every single one of your guys' questions. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I kind of want to just first start off by saying Detroit's done a great job so far this offseason. They've addressed their weaknesses, and they've really went out and they've capitalized. So through the draft, through their offseason, they've done a great job so far identifying what their weaknesses are and filling those gaps to the best of their ability, given their difficult cap situation. So, and as far as their biggest gap, so their first biggest gap was at the wing position. After that, it was you can most argue it was probably at the point guard position, so like the backup point guard position behind Reggie Jackson. And then following that, we just needed to get some more bigs in the rotation to get Zaza out of here and to bring in some help behind Andre and Blake Griffin, and pending Blake Griffin gets injured, we got to make sure we have some depth behind him, so we don't get slaughtered like we did last year when he was out with that injury. So yeah, without further ado, let's first jump off, and the first gap they had was at the wing position. And with the wing position, we did a great job dumping John Lure. Not only did we dump him, we were able to get a rotation player. We were able to get cash from the deal because we were originally given a first-round pick. We turned that into cash. So it turned out great. We were able to go out and get Tony Snell, who's a great 3-and-D guy, can shoot the three ball, is a good defender, has good length. He's probably going to be our starting small forward this year. And then we went out and we got Sekou Doumbouya in the draft. So this is a guy the Pistons had rated at 5th overall, and we were able to go out and get him at 15. So I mean, pretty much every analyst had him in the top 10 talent-wise, so this was a slam dunk, guys. Our biggest need, we're able to turn John Lure into a solid rotation player and Tony Snell, and then to get Sekou at 15 overall. We couldn't have done any better here, guys, and especially for what we're paying these guys, which is not much. This was a slam dunk. Okay, so the next gap we had was at the point guard position. So with the point guard position, we've done pretty well so far. I would actually say we've done great so far. So we were able to sign D Rose, or we signed him to a 2-year, $15 million deal, which for a guy of his caliber, guys, that's incredible. He was averaging, if he was to play 36 minutes last year, his season was cut a little short due to injury and also just because the Timberwolves kind of fell out of playoff contention. He would have been averaging 25 points per game. Per 36 minutes. So, I mean, that's incredible, guys. This guy's efficiency was the best of any season he's ever played, including his MVP season. He shoots damn near 40% from 3, which you think about that compared to Ish Smith. This guy's going to be a 3-point threat. He's a walking bucket, and he's a great addition to the team, guys, especially for what we're paying him. It's incredible that we're able to land him. And then Tim Frazier, too. He's another guy, relatively young still. He's a guy we're not paying hardly any money. 1 year, $2 million, so hardly anything. But he's just going to be a solid third point guard, and he's a great addition. We also were able to land Jordan Bone, who we have on a 2-way contract. So, pending we let Reggie Jackson go and D Rose stays healthy, things are working out. He's a guy we could potentially pull up as well to play that second or third point guard spot if we do let Reggie Jackson walk. So we did a great job addressing the backup point guard position to position ourselves moving forward if we do let Reggie go, and also just getting some more solid depth behind Reggie. We did a great job doing that. And then next, we've got our bigs. So we did a gap behind having depth behind Andre and Blake is a gap that we had overall. So it was kind of surprising that we went out in my eyes that we went out and signed Markieff Morris. I think power forward was not our biggest need, but I see what they're doing here. I think myself and a lot of Pistons fans thought Thon Maker could play this role really well. I think naturally he's more of a power forward position. But Blake Griffin gets injured, guys. He's old, and this is just kind of a security blanket. And having a guy like Markieff Morris to come off the bench, um, you know, for Blake Griffin, that's amazing, guys. I mean, have a guy of his caliber. He's not like a star player. I wouldn't even say he's like a solid starter, but I mean, this guy's going to be a solid rotation guy. He can shoot the three. He plays quite a bit like a stretch forward. Can shoot the three. Has good post moves. Is a good defender. So he's going to be a solid rotation guy off the bench. And this was a great signing that I'm kind of warming up to. Originally, I was kind of irritated it wasn't a center, but I kind of see what their thought process here is a little bit more. And then really, guys, our last gap. So at the center position, the backup center position behind Andre, we need to have somebody here. And this is the one kind of big question mark I have. Is it that we haven't signed somebody yet because we believe Thon can go in and he can play that center position? That might be true. They really might be planning on, giving Thon a lot of minutes this year and transitioning him more over to that center position, which I think he could do. He didn't really excel in it last year, but he has all the qualities, guys. If he puts on a little bit of weight, this guy's grinding in the gym. He can hit the three. He can be kind of like that stretch five. If he can develop some post moves and continue to develop his three ball, he could be, a completely reliable center for our team. And if not, if they want Thon as more of a third option, rotating in with Morris and also in with the fives, they might go ahead and actually sign another center. So I think if the Pistons do sign somebody this year, it is going to be, for the rest of this year in free agency, it's going to be a center. And if they do that, I kind of want to go over what I believe those few options will be. And I do believe this is the move they'll make, guys. I know there's a lot of chatter out there right now about Russell Westbrook, even some Bradley Beal talk. I don't want to go too far into that, but I'll just say I don't think that the Pistons are going to sign Westbrook, and I also don't think they're going to sign Bradley Beal. I don't think signing either of those guys aligns with the Pistons' philosophy of really developing their young talent, and I just don't think it's a good move for them to sign either of those guys, given what they'll have to give up. With Russell Westbrook, you're talking about taking on a $150 million contract, while you have Andre's contract, while you have Blake Griffin's contract. Westbrook would come in. He might help us get like the 4 seed in the East, potentially even battle in the Eastern Conference Finals, but he's not a guy that can win a championship. He's never been able to, even in his prime. And, when you're talking about handing over $150 million to a guy that is really going to put our player development behind, isn't probably going to be able to win us a championship. If anything, he's just going to set us back. So I see our focus and definitely Dwayne Casey's philosophy being much more on the player development side, and I think they're going to continue to develop these young guys. I don't see them signing Westbrook. With Beal, too, the Wizards have said that they'd like to do a package deal with John Wall and Bradley Beal, and I just don't think the Pistons have the assets to pull this off. So, that's kind of my thoughts there. As far as the center position, what I think they will most likely do if they do sign somebody else, they've got about a few $1 million left that they can use. So they what I've heard is they're kind of planning on using the veteran minimum if they do go ahead and sign a guy, and I wanted to go over some of those options. So at the 5, these are kind of a few of the guys that I think they could go with. I'm not going to go too far into depth on all of them. You have Donta Hall, who's kind of becoming a fan favorite in the summer league. He's been just balling out, guys. He's a great shot blocker, great rim protector, and he's a little bit short for the center position, guys, but he's super athletic and he's got a high motor. So I could see them bringing him up. They might fork him over, a contract. It's kind of a stretch, but if he continues to play well, it could happen. So next we've got Costa, just another veteran center option we could probably get from the minimum. Joakim Noah, so another guy, veteran, good defensive guy, could come in off the bench and just kind of disrupt around the rim. has some good post moves, has great vision. Actually, he was a great player. So I don't know. He's just another option I thought was kind of a fun one to throw in there. And then Greg Monroe. So used to play for the Pistons. Solid all around player, guys. Veteran, good post moves, good rebounder. Just kind of is your classic center, kind of like a Andre Drummond light version. And he's another great option that I think we might potentially sign. So if there's any other guys you think we might sign, or any other questions you guys have related to the Pistons or this offseason or anything like that, feel free to drop it down below. I'd love to get back to any of you guys' questions. And again, please, please, please subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a like on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon, and I appreciate you guys watching my vid.